And we are back. Not gonna lie, I woke up this morning. I haven't had tweaks in a while, like, muscle tweaks and everything. Dude, I woke up with my left forearm absolutely on fire, stiff neck, weird shoulder pain. Listen, it's the first week back from the deload. This is why I don't like taking deloads. It feels like your body's trying to recover. In your head, it's like, what do I need all that recovery for anyways? It's trying to fix a lot of stuff that's just been, whatever. The point is we're here. I ain't worried about it. It's absolutely game time. Car started. Today's an important one. Why? Because it kind of goes into what I just talked about, right? Most people in their heads are like, yeah, just take a break. You're fine. You should let your body heal, and screw that. Why? Yes, in a perfect world, you could just take the rest. But what I do inside the gym is try to build resilience. And there's this phenomenon, at least for me when I was growing up. It doesn't mean I'm just old guy now, okay? I want to make that clear. I'm just explaining to you, growing up, like in school, there's a lot of shit in a lot of people, and most kids are kind of losers, just being honest. I'll never forget it in my entire life. I've seen people get shamed into being called a tryhard to the point where they never try hard at anything again. You want to know who that kid was? Well, if you guessed me, that's perfect, because that is actually the answer. I'll never forget it. I was basically called a tryhard one time in front of this chick I liked. And in my head, it was like so embarrassing, especially it was just like sometimes the setting is perfect for a certain insult. It's nothing to do with the insult itself. It's just perfect environment, enough people around, enough people whose opinions you care about, because when you're younger, you care about that thing. And what's crazy is most people never fall out of that, where you care so much about what other people think. You care so much. You want to know why? Because you don't feel a certain way about yourself. And you've never actually tried to earn your own approval. You've never been able to take away the cobwebs, or not even the cobwebs, like the spider webs that get intertwined into your identity, that it's so dependent on how other people react, what other people say, what other people think. You don't even have an opinion of yourself. That's why you care to be liked. You've never asked yourself once, I guarantee it, you know what, do I even like this person? Or do I just assume that person has whatever, I just care that this person likes me because I think they're kind of cool. But how are they actually cool? Now, I know this is kind of going around like full circles, a little bit of a ramble, but the whole idea of you not trying hard out of fear that someone looks at you like a nerd, the biggest nerds in life are? The ones that don't try because they're trying to look cool. You want to know what they accomplish? Precisely zero. Zero. No matter what, and a lot of times those people are the most talented. The most talented cats think they don't have to try that hard. They start taking pride in one thing. Look how well I'm doing and look how little I try. What a shit thing to take pride in. So basically you're saying you got nothing internally. Everything is just talent. Talent's cool, don't get me wrong, but there's a reason why talented people typically lead pretty underwhelming lives. They don't try very hard. They're always trying to find shortcuts, which isn't always a bad thing, because you're always trying to find the easiest way of doing stuff, which in my opinion is a good skill to have. Like, you don't just say, hard work and that's it, man, because I'm just going to work. You try your hardest. Doesn't mean just exerting the most amount of energy, even if something doesn't require that amount. You don't burn it just to burn it. You know what I mean? You're burning energy, and you know that everything you're doing is probably the most efficient path to getting there, the most effective. I like looking at things as effective. That is my goal with everything that I do, is to be hyper effective. That is everything to me. Because other than that, if I'm not effective, no offense, like as a dude, if you're effective, you're good. As long as you are effective, you are good to go. And that's basically effective no matter what. Outstanding on a rainy day is what they say. And I love that. Even for me today, right? I woke up with a lot of creaks. I woke up with a stiff neck somehow, which is just crazy. A stiff neck? How? Regardless, that doesn't deter me from what I'm doing. I'm still going to do the same shit day after day because I know that today is all that matters. And I'm going to try my very, very best. I'm going to be a tryhard. And the people that don't try hard are always looking around at everybody else. How's everyone else looking at me? Do I look cool? Do I look like this? People are so infatuated with other people's opinions, and no offense, 99% of the people you're looking at for approval are probably losers. Bona fide losers. Matter of fact, if they look at you in a favorable light, you should think twice. I mean that. I mean that because I lived a life where I was a friend to everybody, but was an enemy to myself. And now, to be honest with you, I don't hang around as many people nearly. I was always surrounded by a plethora of people, large friend groups and all that stuff. And it's funny, now I hang around with less people than I ever have. And my life has probably never been even close to being this good. Crazy. Crazy as it sounds. If you looked at my life on paper now versus then, you'd be like, dude, that was way cooler. And it ain't. Nothing really cool about it, to be quite frank. You know what's really cool? I get up every day and I just get the fuck after it. I let my art just pour out of me. Because I don't care how it looks. I don't care if I look stupid trying super hard. Because why would I give a shit what anybody else thinks? If I am earning my actual approval, by proxy, the people that I want in my life are going to gravitate towards me. It's not about being selfish or being a prick. You get what I mean? Like, this is where people, for some reason, they go the other way on it. Like, yeah, man, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, first off, have an awareness, understand where you're at, understand where your feet are at, and have a level of just, like, be a gentleman. You know what I mean? Be a gentleman. But the difference is like, I don't have to agree with anything anybody says. Because if I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. That doesn't mean I go get in their face and tell them I'm going to knock you out. I don't need to do all that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, just be you. Just be you. If you're still on this video, hearing me ramble a little bit, man, just be you. Things that you think are cool. Things like, stop judging yourself, dude. Like, looking at yourself from a third-party perspective. Do I look cool to this fucking random? To this absolute four-piece chicken McNobody? Does he actually matter? Does this chick that I love and I really hope she likes me, does she actually matter in the grand scheme of things? Really look at it. In most cases, you're going to be like, no, it's not. And there might be a few of you where it's like, no, like, I this is why I like her for X, Y, and Z reason. Okay, then go for it. Point is it has to pass your line of questioning. Like, it needs to pass your approval. Because then you start really developing, what do I like about people? What don't I like about people? And that takes time. It took me, I'm 28 today. I didn't turn 28 today, but my point is on this day that I'm recording this, I'm 28 years old. It took me a very long time to recognize what I like in people and what I don't like in people. It took me a long time, and that's practice. I've hung around with basically every different type of human, and I'm very, very clear. And to be straight with you, I don't like most people. Not like I don't dislike them, but in terms of being able to like hang around them for long periods of time, it's a very, very difficult thing for me to do. And it's just because you guys have an idea if you're, if you've been on this page and if you're new, I'm definitely a unique individual, but I just feel like I'm just completely myself. Like, I don't try to be anything that I'm not. I don't care to be cooler than I am. I don't give a shit about any of it. See people posturing and this is what it takes. And all I do is explain where I'm at and things that I wish I learned sooner, But one thing I will tell you is stop letting people's opinions dictate your actions. Like, I'm telling you this from someone that, like I told you this earlier, being called a tryhard in such an embarrassing and a public humiliation type of deal that I overreacted on, let's be real, affected the way I used to do things. Like, I used to be like, well, I'm going to try hard in the dark, but I don't want to let anyone show that I'm working hard because that moment of embarrassment kind of took over. I didn't even realize this till recently, but now I try hard. Like, matter of fact, the uglier I look trying, the happier I am. You know what I mean? Like just really grinding it out. But the difference is you can't get caught up in the grinding. Grinding is actually easy at a certain point. It's about coming up with creative solutions and then hammering down the work that's working over and over and over again. Anyways, I know it's a bit of a ramble, but this is kind of what goes on in my mind. I hope this video was well worth your time. If there's anything you guys are looking for specifically, drop it down in the comments. And if people like those comments, give those a thumbs up. And then I know to make a video on it. As always, I love y'all, man. Uncle Rami out. Peace.